Hey everybody, Gina DeLuca here. All right, check this out. I got in a whole mess of mica. These are the Mica Flakes from ColourArte. And I am super excited to try these out because once the pigments are activated, they look different. So let's see, this is the driftwood, and so you can see what that looks like. This one got a little, the box was manhandled, and that was on the top. So the bigger flakes, there are bigger flakes still in there, but they're just underneath. What was on the top got a bit pulverized, but there's still plenty in there. But this is that driftwood once it's activated. How cool does that look? Yeah, this is what we're going to be playing with. This is the piece that I did a couple of videos ago. I covered that whole baby in the golden gloss medium, and it looks like it's varnished. It's not varnished, but it will be. But that offered some protection to give the mica a chance to really set. But yeah, I mean, when the sun hits that, wowee. So I'm going to test out all of these colors, and we're going to see what they look like once they are activated, because they look so different. I mean, shablammy. Yeah. Before we get started, have you seen the Fluid Art inspiration cards? If you have, you can fast forward about a minute, but if you have not, what we have are 52 cards. There are 42 technique cards. Each technique card has an associated video here on YouTube that gives you all of the information that you need, the exact recipe, paint colors, and such. This is the picture from that particular video. This box contains a tip for that particular technique, and here at the bottom we have the color palette used in that particular painting. These two boxes can be used together as the basis of a two-color palette, or you can build off of those colors. And there are 8 bonus color palette cards. Each one has 5 color palettes. Use all of the colors or just use some of the colors. Mix and match the technique cards with the color palette cards, and you have more combinations than you could ever paint a lifetime. Also, you can use these color palettes for any kind of art form, crochet, beadwork, what have you. These are available at my website, ginadeluca.net, and also available at amazon.com. And if you get them off of Amazon, please do leave feedback. They are sticklers over there for the algorithm, and feedback is a huge part of that. Okay, so I figured I'll do a little run through of these colors for y'all, so you can kind of see what they look like. This one is Nautilus Shell, and it's kind of a peachy pink. We'll see what it looks like when it's activated, but it looks, they all look like they're going to be really pretty. And we have Rose Petal. Those certainly do look like rose petals. That sure does give me ideas. And we have Aphrodite. Lavender and pink. And we have Lapis. the box that it came in. The lady who delivered it was taking pictures and notes because it was pretty beaten up. Siren Song. That looks like it's going to be very pretty. Oh my goodness, they're like hypnotizing. Potpourri. Lots of pinks and lavenders. I can't tell if this lens is dirty or my eyes are blurry. Very pretty. Ooh. Poseidon Grotto. That is exciting. I can't wait to test that one out. Oh yes. That just screams underwater to me. Tide Pool. I like it. I like it. This one excites me. It's like lavender and blue. This is Moonlight. But they look so different once the pigments have been activated. This is Azure Sea. Very, very sparkly. And this one is Pirate's Booty. That is gonna be something else. I have a feeling I'll use a lot of this in my rescues because that is super bling. And then this one is Driftwood. That is the one in that painting I showed you. And then the last one is Champagne Pearl. This is just the natural mica. And the cool thing with this is you can tint it yourself with pigments, washes. So it's not like if you don't see, like if the right color doesn't exist already, you can make your own. All right. I am going to do some separating ahead of time because that helps me to move faster when I'm doing the application. And yeah, so I'm gonna separate this mica and then I'm gonna come in and lay down some swatches so we can get an idea of exactly what it is we're working with. Okay, the color I am starting with is Nautilus Shell, and this is a very, very pretty peachy pink. I have pulled out 4 flakes, and I want you to see how far this stuff goes. So I have an X-Acto knife. A paring knife would probably work better. Just because the way it splits, but I don't have one. I need to get one that I'm willing to use for art. But you just put it in between those layers and it will peel off into smaller pieces. I do recommend having a dust buster on hand when you do this so that you can keep the flyaways under control, and do wear a mask without exception, because this stuff gets airborne and you do not want to get it into your lungs. Anything that gets into your lungs stays in your lungs. Any kind of particulates. When you're baking, be careful when you're messing around with flour, because that can get in your lungs. I used to own a bakery. And you do not want to get flour in your lungs, because it turns into mold. I'm not doing a good job splitting this. The sun is coming in the window in such a way that it's like blinding me right now. I feel like I'm on stage, like on a big stage that has like the crazy lights at the moment. It's something else. I'm gonna have to take a break after I'm finished showing you this, because I'm about to get blasted. I live on the water and the sun sets over the water, and so it gets pretty intense, because it's not like it sets to the side, it sets directly in front of my house, or behind my house, however you want to look at it. And it is straight up blinding. And yes, this does take some patience, but I really do feel like the payoff is worth it. Especially if you have a painting that you fell in love with and your cat jumped on it, or a bug landed on it, or your husband stuck his finger in it. You know, any of those things that can happen to ruin our favorite paintings. There is a way to rescue it. This was a good one. There is something very satisfying about this. Like separating these, and you know, when you get like a good, like perfect split, there's this satisfied like that. That just feels, that feels so good. Okay, that was 4 chips. I'm gonna show you how I lay these down. And we're going to see what it looks like once it's activated. Very exciting stuff. Okay, and the other painting that I did, I used the golden extra heavy gel gloss. And you can see it is very, very thick. Like, very thick. And I picked up some of this Artist Loft super heavy gel, gloss super heavy gel. This doesn't look quite as thick. It's not quite as thick, but it's still pretty thick. It's thick enough, I think. So I'm gonna try this and see what kind of effect we get from that. I'm still trying to figure out what is the best surface for putting this stuff down, because I don't want it to dry out, so I just take out a little bit at a time. I just have a piece of aluminum foil wrapped over a little canvas panel thing, just giving it a try. All right, so I'm going to just lay some down here. And this dries clear. And I'm not doing this over a painting because I want the true color. And this is a little damaged, it looks like, so it's fine. So you can see when it's wet, I can pick it up just by touching it. And if it's a split piece, I want to make sure that the piece with the pigment, the side that has the pigment, is up top, because I want that to activate. So I set that down, and then I come in and put some of this on top. That is going to activate it, and you'll see I kind of come in from the sides like I'm doing tile. I want those little gaps to fill in. I want it for it to be smooth. And this is how I get the kind of that fish scale look. So grab another piece. This is a middle piece, so I don't have to worry about where the pigment is. And I'm just going to lay it down, slightly overlapping that old piece. I'll bring this over here so you can, hopefully I get everything in one shot here. And then as it starts to set, I'll go back in and do it again and press everything down really nice and snug. So when I go over top of the old ones, not only is that activating the pigments, but it's also making it sticky. So when I lay another piece on top, it will adhere to the previous laid pieces. And I find it best to work in smaller sections because the sauce will thicken upon standing. You know, the gel will start to set up on you. And I'm going to use all of these. I want to see how much space those 4 flakes will cover. I think that's a good experiment. The main purpose of this that I'm doing is to basically do test swatches of all of these colors because I have ideas. And I need to know what I'm working with. I always got ideas, y'all. Watch out. So this one has the pigment on this side. So this is going to be a fun piece. Yep. Sometimes you get these little pieces that break off. You can just kind of push them in somewhere. Oh yeah. So that pigment is going to activate, and when I come back over it later, it's gonna look super groovy. And yes, this is a time-consuming process, but there is something really meditative about it. I gotta tell you, like, it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. The separating part, as tedious as it looks, it's actually pretty satisfying. When you get the perfect peel, there's something about it. This is going to cover a nice big section, actually. Probably bigger than I had intended. Now see how that pigment is starting to blend with that gloss medium? Starting to bleed a little bit when I go back over these colors, and those pigments have the chance to mix around, and then they settle in the nooks and crannies, and it's pretty nifty. But once you get going, it goes a lot faster. You kind of get a hang of the pressure that you need, and come on. So this one has pigment on top. That will happen sometimes. You just have to put it back. Sometimes it'll just stick to your palette knife. So you see, once it starts to set up a little bit, I'll come in and kind of scrape it and smooth it out. All right, speeding this part up a little bit here, but I also wanted to take the time to tell you, if you wanted to try out these Mica Flakes, head on over to ColourArte.com. And if you use the code Gina DeLuca 622, you will receive a discount on the Mica Flakes, and there's going to be a contest coming up very soon, sponsored by ColourArte, right here on this channel, using these Mica Flakes. So if you want to give it a whirl, grab yourself some flakes, get to practicing, so you can win yourself a shopping spree on the ColourArte website. And I think that's going to be fun. And there are so many useful applications for these Mica Flakes. I'm just absolutely in love with them. And yeah, it does take a little patience, but the more you do it, the faster you'll get. And it is very satisfying when it's done and it's dry and it's just blinging like crazy. It's beautiful. Okay, so you can see that those 4 pieces took up a nice corner of this 16 by 20 canvas. That is a good amount of space. So these do go a long way. I am going to continue on, probably at high speed, and we will see what the rest of these colors look like. All right. Okay, here it is. It was just too much. It was too much to film. I need to clear out my phone. I need to clear some space. So the camera kept crashing. I think it might be something to do with a new update. I've heard from a couple of people they've been having that issue. But down to business. This is Nautilus Shell, and that is that color. So you can see how much it changes once you apply the medium to it. Some of these spots are still wet, so if it's not completely clear, that's why, but I'm on a deadline, so you'll get the idea. This one is Rose Petal. You can see how much that one changed. Let me show you the Nautilus from an angle too, because it does look different from angles. Hope this doesn't make you seasick. Really, really pretty though. This one is Aphrodite. You can see how the pigment changes. Really beautiful magenta in there. And of course that's more of a rose color. This one is more of a peachy pink gold kind of thing going on. Here we have Moonlight. There's some lavender and blue, and this is Moonlight. That one. Next up, we have Siren Song, which is this one. Love that one. I'm in love with all of these. I am going to be having some serious fun with this stuff. Yeah, see where it's still white? It's still wet. But the train is taking off with or without me. So this is what we're working with. This is Lapis. This is such a beautiful, beautiful, oh my goodness gracious, look at that. And that is what it looks like before it's activated. Poseidon Grotto. Love this combination of colors. There's, you know, some of that yellow green in there and some of the turquoise. And this is what it looks like in dry form. We have Potpourri. There's some lavender and pink going on in there. And this is what it looks like in dry form. And next up we have Azure Sea. Beautiful, beautiful turquoise. Just yummy. Really, really love that. And Tide Pool. And you can see with this technique, that is Tide Pool. With this technique, the way that it gets laid down, you can really maximize the scale effect for fish or mermaids or lizards or whatever. This is the natural mica, the champagne pearl. And that can be tinted to whatever you want. This is driftwood. That's what it looks like dry. And that is what it looks like activated. You know, with metallics, it's so hard to really get the full effect on camera. It just never really does it justice. But gorgeous. And Pirate's Booty. Beautiful gold color. Oh my goodness gracious. If that doesn't take your breath away, holy cow. I hope y'all like this mica stuff. That's what it looks like dry. Very, very different. Very different. That's why we did this, because I wanted to see what they look like when they were activated, so I know how to proceed in the future. And I hope you guys like this stuff, because I am going to be messing. I'm going to be messing around with this stuff. I'm going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I enjoy it. It's very therapeutic and meditative. But I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. Please do like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. If you visit the ColourArte website to get some of these Mica Flakes, use the code Gina DeLuca 622 and you will receive a discount. I believe it's 20%. Do not sue me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 20%. So get yourself a discount. And also, just so you know, I have been in touch with the folks at ColourArte, and I think there might be a contest coming up soon that they are going to sponsor right here on my channel using these Mica Flakes. So if you're interested in trying this stuff out and possibly winning a shopping spree on the ColourArte website, grab yourself some Mica Flakes. Use code Gina DeLuca 622 and start practicing, because it's coming soon. But that's what we're working with. Yep. Check out the description box below for links to ColourArte and the code in case you forget it, and also all of my other affiliate links. If you enter through those links, you purchase things off of those websites, I receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. It's a great way to give back without it costing you anything extra. Also in the description box, you will find a link to my website, ginadeluca.net, where you can find my art and music and fluid art inspiration cards for sale. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh. And you will find the link to our Facebook group. Go make some art. Join us there. Post your masterpieces. Ask your questions. Get some inspiration. A good time is had by most. It is the internet after all. But yeah, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Now go make some art.